You too. What it do? It's your boy K Minaway, and I'm back at you with another video. And today's video topic is going to be about what's your identity? What do you identify as? For me, football player, athlete, salesman, I wear different hats. But what's my true identity? What do you truly identify as? Where is your morals and values? Where do those live? What do you stand for? What do you stand on? What's your base like? Is it built on toothpicks or is it built on bricks? And let me dive a little deeper. So your identity is not only in the physical, but it's in the mental. When I talk about identity, I had to change my identity about who I was, who I wanted to become. I couldn't identify as the football O lineman. I had to identify as my 8 to 12% body fat self. That's what I identify as. That's what my mind, but that's what I believe. That's what I know. That's what's showing in my physique as I'm moving forward in my journey. But the shit wasn't built in a day. This shit took years. This shit took 2.5, 3 years, 2 years. I can't even really remember. I gotta really think back on when I was 375. But around that time, I had to lock in. I had to shift my identity. I read this. I can't remember which book I read this in, but it talks about how you can't identify as somebody who's trying to quit smoking. An example. I'm trying to quit. That means you don't identify as, I don't smoke. Those two things are different. When I talk now, I've talked about it in the past in some of my videos, you have to talk in confidence. You have to talk in nuance. You have to talk in a certain way to yourself, even if you don't believe it, because words are powerful. That's why prayer is powerful. That's why faith is powerful. That's why faith is when you get to heaven, you have to have faith. You have to have faith because you can't see it, you can't touch it, but you have to believe it. That should change my life. It will change your identity. You have to believe it. You have to feel it. You have to see it before anybody else around you will understand what you see until it's too late. That's why you have to change your identity. You have to identify as what you want to be. I identify as my 8 to 12% body fat self. I'm not there yet. I'm at 16, but I'm getting close. I'm honing in, and I'm about to go eat this food, go hit the gym, come back home, do laundry, and you feel me? Cook my food for tomorrow and lock in, dial in my appointments, write down my schedule at least till Wednesday, write down some things I want to go do, blah, blah, blase, because I identify as a disciplined man. I identify as the best version of myself day in and day out. I don't just wake up and I'm like, I don't feel like doing this today. I didn't really get much sleep last night. I don't give a fuck. Because I'm identifying as the best version of myself. My identity is different. You have to identify as the person you want to become. You have to identify. You have to be that person before you're him in the physical. Before you can be him, you have to identify as him. The first thing that changes is your mindset. Then after the mindset, everything else comes after. After the mindset, everything else comes after the fact. None of that other shit matters. What do you identify as? Who are you? When nobody's watching. When nobody's there to hold you accountable. I know who I am. I get my food scale. I get my protein, I get my ground beef, cook up my ground beef. I make sure I weigh it. I'm going to get my 2 tortillas, fold them up, make a little mini quesadillas with some eggs on the side for breakfast. Because that's who I identify as. That's who I'm going to be. But I know that already. I understand that already. I know that about myself already. Because I fortified my mind. I proved myself right. When I said I wasn't going to masturbate, when I said I was going to hit the gym, when I said I was going to weigh my food, when I said I was going to be strict to the T with the diet, I do it. I keep the promises to myself. When you break the promises to yourself, that's why you can't change your identity, because you're consistently lying to yourself. The first person you have to be honest with yourself is you and God, or whoever you believe in. The universe, Allah, whoever. You have to believe in yourself before anybody else can believe in you. How can they trust you with your business, with their business? You don't look like you take care of yourself. You're hella out of shape. You don't get a haircut. You look disheveled. You look disgruntled. I wouldn't trust you with my business. You don't even take care of how you don't even handle your own personal business. Why would I let you handle my business where I feed my family and kids off this shit? Nope. It's that simple. You have to change your identity. You have to change what you believe in. You have to truly show the world that this is who you are and what you want to be. But before you can do that, you have to believe it yourself. You have to put in a blind faith. You have to go through that dark tunnel when you can't see the light, but you know you're walking in the right direction. I love that analogy. I will die by that analogy. You have to walk through the tunnel when you can't see the end, you can't see the light, and you keep going anyway. Because at the end of the day, that should have saved your life. What do you identify as?